Hello, everyone. My name is Hjalli, and welcome back to Night Shift 1999. Woo! We are back with where we left off. I guess a little recap. We are Isra, and we are back with living with civilization, and we are wandering around the new area that we are living in. We have an apartment. We checked out, I think St. Vincent's is the hospital, and we talked to a guy there named Chris who we're going to work there soon. We also drank from a patient there. We had some conflicted feelings about it. And we also checked out a club, met a gal named Alex and a bartender named Aurelius. And I also forget we met, I think, a nurse at the hospital, but I don't remember his name and I feel really bad. I forgot to check what his name was, but he seemed cool. So maybe we'll see him in the future on future shifts and things like that. But now we have a choice to investigate some other areas. Okay, so we have St. Vincent's, we have Sweetheart's Basement, Park Street, Elizabeth Bay, and the pharmacy. I'm gonna be honest, I'm kind of interested and would. Oh, wait, no. Didn't we just come from Sweetheart's Basement? Is that what the name of the club is? I can't remember. I should have double checked. I double checked a couple of things and I was like, oh, we'll be fine. We'll be saved here. Which one's Sweetheart's Basement? There's not much for me to do right now. I wander aimlessly down the road, watching the neon signs merge into one another. As much as I wish I didn't, I can't help but think of that nightclub. Okay, the nightclub is Sweetheart's Basement. Sorry, y'all. And Alex. Ooh, in particular. I don't know if there's much chance of redeeming myself in her eyes. She seemed to have made her mind up about me quite quickly, but it would be good to know why. Neither of us are particularly loved by the public. Our histories are a lot more intertwined than anyone could believe, so why did she single me out? I'm not a danger to their peace, if that's what she thinks. If anything, I've been living a lot more quietly than any of those werewolves have been down there. Ooh. Whether it's a vampire losing control or a lycanthrope, the consequences are all the same. Humans don't see the difference in our mistakes. Find myself in front of the door before I know it, and with a swift knock, it opens to reveal the staircase below. Here goes round two, I guess. I'm back. I'm just back. There's a different beat blasting through the speakers tonight. One just as invigorating and electrifying, and I can't find myself moving along to it. The crowd doesn't care for that, though. They're moving and grooving. Schmoovin'. I'm still swept further onto the floor, the strobes above me spotlighting the way to where I last saw Alex. It's not hard to spot her, seeing as she's standing as still as a pillar, strong and unwavering as she scans her surroundings. I wonder what it is she does here. If she's not part of the staff, why does she spend her hours hanging around here without even a drink? Very good question. There has to be something more keeping her tied here. Once she spots me, she doesn't let her eyes leave me, even while she says a goodbye to someone off to her side. It's only a matter of seconds before I'm stood face to face with her. I see you didn't take my warning. I don't think it was your warning to give. You're not going to kick me out because you can't. I wouldn't be so sure of that. I hate that she manages to make me grasp for more and more straws, trying to find some semblance of understanding of the situation. Why should I even care what she says or does? But she's made herself my problem, and I'll take the bait, even if I know I shouldn't. Why is that then? You don't work here, so I see no reason to listen to the likes of you. And yet I searched you out specifically to hear your shit. I like this. Exactly. Then off you go. I must look bewildered because she makes a noise that can only be described as half a scoff and half a laugh. Stop waiting for my approval. You're here. Now go off and do what you came here to do. And what if that's you? It seems that Alex is good at snaking out of conversations, but despite that, she still entertained me. Judging by the look in her eyes, she might entertain me a bit longer if I play my cards right. I wonder what I could say to get information out of her. Oh my god. Either you'll need to rein in whoever invited me in the first place, or what if you're what I came here for? Find Aurelius instead. I feel like she'll just scoff again or something if I say, what if you're what I came here for? Oh, I feel like this is like more of a conversation poll. I don't know. I could be wrong, but it won't take long to get back here if I fuck this up. I think I'm gonna try this. You'll need to rein in whoever invited me in the first place. And who would that be? I can't get a read on her. Maybe she's testing me, playing with me, trying to push me around a little. Honesty. Now that's a concept I have a strained relationship with. It's been a long time since I've been able to be freely honest with the world around me. Too much to lose, not enough to gain. I mull the decision over whether to tell her what happened or to keep her hooked on the line. In the end, truth wins me over. I don't know. You've got a good PR team out on the streets, though, accosting strangers and making them follow vague directions. She goes completely still, and for a moment that air of self-assuredness falters. What did I say that made her pause? Was it stranger or... I've hit some kind of spot. It doesn't feel good on my end either. I don't know how someone has managed to track me this well. There's a light panic rising deep inside me, and I don't know why I didn't think to question this entire convoluted plot earlier. It's true there's little I have to fear. After all, I've survived this long relying on more than my wits, but it doesn't feel good to have to be so vigilant, on edge. I'm tired of running. I just want to wake up and know I'll still be able to come back at the end of the night. Alex has stayed quiet for much too long now. Anything you've got to say? What did they tell you? Even though the music is still thumping and the people around us are having a good time, it makes me feel more anxious than less. Nothing, really. They handed me this. I had the sense to keep the card on me. Well, it's not as though I have much to carry on my person at the moment. Having a business card makes me feel important, even if it's not my own. Now, however, it feels more like I'm keeping track of evidence. Ooh, this has gotten like, I like this. I'm like, ooh, who technically did put the business card on us? Like, who gave it to us? I just also assumed that it was like a random staff member who's like, you look like a creature of the night. But now I'm like, ooh, this is getting tasty. I hand it over to her swiftly and she takes it from me, her hand brushing against mine. Under any other circumstance, I might relish the small moment of contact, but right now I'm focused solely on what's unfolding before me. Alex continues to say nothing as she studies the card, flipping it back and forth as she reads over the words. Go home, Isra. There's nothing for you here. Well, that's cryptic. She turns swiftly, but I'm quicker, grabbing onto her arm to stop her from leaving. There's no way she could leave just like that, leaving me in the dark when I'm the one who has the most to lose. I don't know how she's lived her life up until this point, but letting someone else drown won't stop the ship from sinking quicker. Do you know who gave me that? Alex steers daggers at where my hand is wrapped around her wrist, but she doesn't try to shake me off. She probably knows she couldn't. There's little that can move me, and someone mostly human certainly couldn't. This is no way to get answers from me. You've left me no other choice. Who gave me that card? I don't know. Is that what you wanted to hear? Not really, no. It's quite the opposite of what I was hoping for, but I've always been a realist. I knew this was coming. But now Alex has more to answer for than just that question. It's not a surprise to me. I'm curious now as to why you care. It could have been any one of... I gesture around us. These people. Why is it a big deal? This time she does try to rip her hand away from me. I let her, willingly releasing her once I feel the first pull. We don't advertise. We don't want more eyes. I don't need someone like you. She jabs a finger into my chest, all her frustrations boiling over into one grand gesture. Ooh! Fucking this up for all of us. I don't know who has their eyes on you, but sort it out on your end. I'll sort it out here. With that, she finally leaves, the gap where she was standing just before me, closing up as the crowd moves in. I don't know how someone could have followed me all the way here, but I suppose I'll have to find that out. This isn't how I wanted my night to end, with unease roiling through my body like a bad disease. I stay in place for a few more moments, thinking about my next steps before I finally leave too. I suppose I will have to sort it out, but Alex will be in for a nasty surprise if she thinks I won't be back. It's far easier with two. Oh, so interesting. I'm just thinking because, okay, if this was premeditated, like someone planned this, wanted us to go here, and was like trying to lure us in, they would have had to like make these business cards in advance? Or at least a business card? That's quite a move. Okay. I can't lie, I have pre-interview jitters. I'm trying to push away the anxiety that's gripping me, the unnerving feeling of being watched, so that I can focus on the task ahead. I know once I'm done here, however, reality will come tumbling down around me. I'm not nervous for this interview in the traditional sense. I'm invested in getting this job, sure, but there will always be others available if it doesn't work out. But above all else, I don't want my cover blown. These days, there's background check after background check. When they ushered in the 20th century, they brought with them added security too. As much as I want everything to align when I go in today, I don't know if it will. Is it bad to say I miss how nepotism used to work? I'd much rather ingratiate myself with someone and get a job that way without someone looking up driver's license details on a computer. Oh well, that time is long gone. Straightening out my shirt, I take a deep breath and walk into the hospital. Oh! Somehow, amongst the hustle and bustle, I managed to spot that nurse from before. Isaac! Okay, good. I'm glad we're meeting up with him again. Good omen, perhaps? To no one's surprise, he looks busy as he flips through some papers in his hand. I'm not sure what's good courtesy in this situation. Would it be fine if I said hello? I don't want to encroach on his territory. I don't even know if I'll be working here, let alone seeing him on the daily, but it wouldn't hurt to reach out. I'm gonna go up to him. Hey, Isaac, right? Nice to see you again. Isaac looks up for a brief second, then back down at the clipboard in his hand. I remember when that used to be me, writing down notes and handing out scalpels. And a few decades later, I was the one being handed the blades. There's a twinge of envy when I realize that's not going to be in the books for me anytime soon. It's a long ladder to climb, one that's a lot harder. Being back in this environment is bittersweet. All of that seems to be lost on the man in front of me, who seems more intent on getting back to work than being interrupted by someone like myself. Yeah, good to see you too. I bet he doesn't even remember me. Dead air fills the space between us. I clear my throat and keep talking. Thanks for the directions the other day, by the way. It would have taken me ages to find the right wing. Hospitals, am I right? Right. Well, I've got that interview coming up in a few minutes, so hey, maybe I'll be seeing you again soon. This time, he puts the clipboard down on the reception counter and looks at me when he talks. Oh yeah, for sure. Good luck with that. You'll do great. He gives me an awkward pat on the arm and then turns to walk in the other direction. Pat on the arm. That's got to be a step in the right direction, right? At the very least, we're building a rapport. Maybe 10 more weeks of this and we'll have graduated to talking about the weather. I'm just like, he doesn't know us yet, so it's like, why even invest anything in it? Because we don't work here. I gather myself and get going. Because truthfully, I don't have the time to stand around and chat. The last thing I want is to show up late when I'm already here and ready. I start making my way down the same corridor once again to find Chris's office. This time, there's no body lingering for me in the hallway. At least I don't have to worry about temptations before heading in today. It wouldn't do well to lean in for a handshake and worry about the blood on my breath. I pull on my jacket, the best suit I had in my closet, despite the moth holes around the sleeves, once, then twice, then a third time, for good luck. before I knock on the door to his office. Once I hear him shout, "Come on in!" I spend a second mentally preparing myself. Keep it vague, keep it brief, and keep it on topic. I know I can do this job. All I've got to do is make him see that too. I open up the door. Let's get this over and done with. One relatively straightforward interview later, and I've got the next year of my life sorted. Woohoo! It's not the most glamorous role, but I've never been one to shy away from dirty work. It's respectable, it pays all right, and it's got all the right hours. If push comes to shove, there'll be easier access to food too. No more people though. Blood bags only from now on. Maybe. Not like it's much better, considering how they're in short supply and patients are the opposite. That's all to say, it ticks my every box. Now that I'm in the system, who knows, maybe I'll be signing up to night classes next. There was a bulletin in Chris's office, nice and supplied with nursing courses, phlebotomy classes, and something called radiology. Ooh, new field of radiology. First, though, I can't wait to buy a chest of drawers and a bedside table. I'm running out of time to get things done, and the last thing I want is to see my last sunrise again. I take my time on the walk back to the apartment, surveying my surroundings. This will be the route I take from now on, night after night. Although the sun is set to peek up beyond the horizon any minute now, it's still dark and cold in the back streets of the suburb. The trees obscure the sky, and there's wet in the air, the ever-present humidity cloaking the world with its oppressive force. Yet somehow, the night no longer feels warm and inviting. With every street I pass, every person I spot, I can't help but view it through a lens of suspicion. This is how I've survived. This is how I'll keep surviving. Even if the world around me can feel suffocating, as if the walls are closing in, I still persevere. What else is there to do? So, with that in mind, I enjoy the last few moments of nighttime that I have and linger as I walk. If I take my time, there's a lot that can be revealed. Ibises rummage through trash, cockatoos swoop above me, and the water gushing through the Almain fountain blows in the direction of the breeze. It's still restless out here, bustling with unrestrained energy and people going in all directions. I can't get my mind off the fact I'm being followed, no matter how hard I try. Yeah, I feel like that is a hard thing to forget about. Because now that you know, I mean, every place you go to is suspect. And they now know that you go there if they're still following you. Maybe not now, not here, but I have been, and recently. Exactly. It's like, you don't know. Nothing about the beauty of the world can change that. And if they know where I'm going, they've known where I've come from too. I take a closer look at my surrounding. There's a car idling across the road. There's a man who's been sitting on a bench who keeps looking my way. There's a stray phone waiting on a trash can. Okay, all of these things, yeah, this is all like, ooh. Yeah, who the hell leaves a phone on the side of a trash can? Hang on, is that phone ringing? Stop! I take another look around, trying to see if anyone might have left it there. I try not to feel apprehensive. I'd be feeling apprehensive. I try to remind myself there's no way it's intended for me. But the phone keeps ringing. It keeps demanding I pick it up. I walk over there with all the casualness that I can muster, and I answer it. It must be only a handful of seconds, but they stretch out into eternity, each one longer than the last. I can hear a siren coming to life somewhere further down the road. I can feel the wind picking up. There's the first few stray beams of light peeking over the horizon. There's nothing on the other end of the phone except unending silence, heavy in its absence. Hello? Finally, there's a click. Whoever was on the other end hung up. Mentally, I kick myself for breaking first. Why couldn't I have waited a touch longer? But my nerves are shot, and I feel like my world has been tipped upside down. Doesn't feel good feeling unsafe. I'm tired of it. I quickly look through the recent call list, but there's only a blocked number staring back up at me. Damn. Damn. I could throw this into the fountain. I could make sure they know that I don't care. But I could also get a free phone out of this. Or I could find someone who could, I don't know, track whoever called me. But something tells me something tells me that even if I did, it would have come from a payphone. It only takes me a short while before deciding to pocket the phone. At least this way, there's a line of communication. And maybe, if I'm going to wake up to my door being smashed in, a warning before it happens. I make the rest of my way home, walking faster with every step, until I'm near flying through the streets and up to my lonely apartment. I might be moving sooner than I thought, and I haven't even had a chance to unpack yet. Everywhere I look, there's reminders of the past. If she was here with me now, she'd know what to say. She'd take my hand and tell me to still hang up my coats, to use the coffee table we bought together in Rome, and to buy that lamp I'd been looking at in the antique stores. Yeah, Nassar. I wonder where she is. She'd tell me there was nothing we couldn't fix, and she'd have been right. But she's not here anymore, and I'm fixing my own problems now, and doing a terrible job of it too. But maybe she's right, even if her words are mere echoes of my memory. Maybe I don't have to run at the first sight of trouble. I take one look at the interior and file it under tomorrow's problem. I won't be scared out of town. I won't be made to run anymore. I'll definitely start unpacking. That didn't sound as confident as I'd hoped. I'll start unpacking. That's better. Oh! Ooh. Ooh. I like this track. Thank you for playing. Demo by Georgina Owasopian? Hope I pronounced that okay. With music provided from Free Sound, made with support from... Ooh, I'm vibing to this. Ooh. Australian government and Screen Australia. Woo! Oh, this was so cool. I want to go back. Ooh, coming 2026 later this year. Oh. Dun, 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 dun. Ah! Whoa, okay. Ooh, I'm so intrigued. There's so many interesting threads happening here. There's so many places I haven't explored yet, so I do want to go back and look at some of those places. But I'm curious, like, in this world, what other, like, people, creatures of the night there are. We know werewolves. We got vampires. We got some sort of magic happening because Aurelius, the bartender, is a Skillington. I'm so intrigued by our flashbacks that we kept having last time, where we're getting these bits and pieces of our life when we were early-ish in being turned into a vampire, and with our creator, sire, Nassar. She seems really interesting. We seem to have some sort of complicated history relationship there. To me, it seems like that we were lovers or some sort of that like similar relationship happening there. But we said that she's not around anymore. That could be either she's dead or she's just like, I don't know, locked away somewhere across the other side of the planet. Who knows? I don't want to jump to any assumptions. I'm trying to think of any other questions I have right now. I think it's just following the lines that are set up for us, which is just who gave us this business card? Are we actually being followed, or was that like a spur of the moment type thing? Where were we before here? I'm kind of curious about more of our own Isra's like background, which I'm sure that we'll definitely get more of. But yeah, and also Alex is so interesting. We kind of got like kind of an antagonistic little like flirtatious thing happening there. Okay, I want to go back to, oh my gosh, Why is there like different saves here that I wasn't expecting? 7. Okay, it pushed them back. I'm like, what's going on? Here. Yes? Why? Hold on. Why aren't my... Why are my saves being weird? I can't tell. 7. My one save isn't here anymore. Did it override my save? 11:03, 11:10. Oh, I think it overrided my save. That's okay. Oh. No. Okay, this is a little weird. Now that I'm in here, I have different saves. Huh. Okay, I don't super know what's going on with that. Something a little bit odd with the saving and loading, unless I'm just doing something weird and I don't understand. Okay, so we're back here. I might as well just go in order and check out St. Vincent's at night. Let's see. Oh, did it just cut to us going here? Traditional sense. I'm just gonna hit a little skip button work. I'm not sure it works. Okay. Yeah, nepotism line. Straighten out my shirt. I walk into the hospital. Yeah, we already did this. Okay, so this just like skips ahead. That's interesting. Okay, so we're gonna go to Park Street. Okay. Ooh. Although I'm in the city center, it feels a lot quieter than the hustle and bustle down the road. What a difference a few blocks and some parkland can make. Palms line the boundary of the park, reaching up high into the sky. In the moonlight, they sway peacefully, cutting out shapes against the clouds. As I make my way in, I notice some strange figures and couples walking around me. I can't help but feel a pang of guilt at the fact any one of them could have been my target tonight, or any other night. Their lives hanging in the balance, and for what? To satisfy me. Now that I'm participating in life again, I do well to realize what that means for everyone else around me. Ooh, this is cool. Fountains, statues, and memorials. I pass by them all in my quest for... I'm not sure. To clear my head, get myself in order before I continue with my night. The hunger is never sated for long, and the stretches of time I get before it rears its beastly head are short. I shouldn't take this for granted. It's as I seem to be getting to the end of my stroll. Do I conveniently come across an entrance to the train? At least that's useful. Ooh. Maybe wandering aimless is exactly the kind of activity I need to be doing to get my footing. I'm about to walk into the station when something suspiciously human-shaped appears right in front of me. Huh? What? It starts as a cloud of buzzing orbs and flecks of light, fragile and erratic. All the while, I can hear a small, hollow voice talking. Huh? What is this? Can you hear me? The light bulbs leading into the station start to flicker, almost like the entity is zapping the energy from the area to form its voice. It gets a little louder this time. I don't know what voice to use, so we'll just go with it. Please, 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 please tell me you can hear me. Hello? Are you a ghost? Suddenly, a young woman dressed perfect for a night out, say 60 years ago, pops into existence. If the color draining from the world and the uneasy atmosphere weren't enough of a clue that I'm dealing with a ghost, then I don't know what would be. Huh? It's nothing out of the ordinary, but it's not often you come across someone who hasn't passed over for what clearly seems like a long while. Most hauntings get resolved in a week or less, a decade if it's gnarly. This is obviously one dissatisfied specter. Sparks start to fly from a nearby lamppost. Hey, I can hear you just fine. Thankfully, that seems to do the trick. I wouldn't want this to seep so far that the train itself gets affected. There's enough pandemonium as it is. Oh, thank goodness. I've been trying to find someone who can help me, but there's so few people who come by here these days. It's not hard to guess why. Why don't you tell me what your name is? She flattens the hem of her dress, even though it's in perfect shape, considering she's incorporeal. Alma. You can call me Alma. I don't bother trying to shake her hand, as I know I'll slip right through it. She clearly knows she's dead, considering her whole entrance, so maybe the help in question will be to help her pass on? I've never been involved in something like that. Something so serious. My entire life thus far can be described as self-serving and isolated. I do a small curtsy, playing the part of the chivalrous knight in shining armor. Isra, it's a pleasure. Now, what can I do for you? Do you think you could grab me a soda? That's something new. I try not to balk at the request, but clearly I didn't do enough hiding my expression. Is that like insensitive or something? Because you're a vampire? No, nothing like that. I guess I'm just surprised? Oh, what, do you think I can't enjoy a soda because I'm dead? Talk about small-minded. You just passed judgment on me! If you're not going to be useful, then just go. Geez, all I wanted was a drink. This has spun wildly out of control. I'll grab your damn soda. I don't have an issue with getting you a soda. Alma rolls her eyes quite pointedly and crosses her arms. Then she grumbles something that would be lost on anyone but me. Could have fooled me. Most likely deliberately. Hey, do you want this drink or not? Because I can go home. Yes, my God, yes. I've even got the money here. I'd do it myself, but I can't leave the boundaries of you-know-what. I suppose even the oldest of ghosts can't escape the confines of their own deaths. In some respects, I understand. Even to this day, I have to carry the soil of where I last drew breath as a human to sleep. No matter how far we travel, how long we stay attached to this earth, we're all still slaves to our past. Alma mimes handing over some coins, but they disappear once they land in my own hand, and she lets out a frustrated sigh. More muttering follows. First, no one sees me for 5 whole years, and now this. What's going on with me? That's a little extreme. I've never met a ghost who can do, well, anything but talk, really. I've never seen one who can physically conjure or interact with the real world, apart from the objects they might have died with. But even that, it's normal for them to dissipate once they touch anything from the world of the living. It's odd to consider myself part of that, considering I'm an affront to living, but I'm still more alive than Alma. Maybe that's a bit rude. I've got some change, it's all right. But I used to be able to do this. Talk to people, hold things, touch, and now it's all been taken away from me again. I feel like I'm fading more day by day. This has turned into an impromptu therapy session unbeknownst to me, but that first part is intriguing. Could you really? I mean, I've never known a ghost who can. Are you saying people could touch you? Her form starts to flicker again, rapidly buzzing in and out of existence. Even though she's speaking, it sounds further and further away. I don't think this is going to hold up for very much longer. Great, the line's going dead now too. Whatever. Go on, just go. I'll see you never. And with that, she fades completely. Huh? What is going on? That was not expected, but interesting nonetheless. I suppose I'll have to visit again some other time. Maybe I'll get to bump into her again. Oh, and then I go to St. Vincent's. So interesting. I remember seeing her art, I think, on the itch page. Huh. She used to be able to touch people and interact with stuff. I wonder what's causing her to not be able to do it anymore. Another interesting character. Okay, let's go back. Let's go to Elizabeth Bay. It takes some time to move past the hustle and bustle of the roads, but as I turn downhill, there's a lot less people scattered and far more quiet. I know it's still the turn of the new year, but it's been a long time since I've lived somewhere as highly populated as this. It's nice to feel the thrum of the city, to feel the energy of every living being, but it can be overwhelming too. Everything is so new and shiny, it's hard to know where to look and what to do. I felt a slow mounting pressure to get things done ever since I woke from my slumber and began my plans to move here. And now that I've arrived, it feels like there's an entire world that I have to get to know before I can be accepted into it. I'm not sure I'll ever truly be welcomed, but it would be nice to. I continue walking down the hill, feeling the crisp breeze of a summer's evening blow past me. The best part of being awake at this hour is that the heat of the day has died down, leaving only its remnants now that the sun has set. It's still sticky and hot, but it's less oppressive, less demanding. Even though most of my autonomic nervous system has been rerouted in my unlife, I still don't enjoy overheating. Perhaps it's just a hangover of a habit, something my body and mind got used to, but I'm not going to let go of it yet. It's nice to feel connected in ways such as these too. However, this might not be the best place to find a meal. There are houses aplenty, lights on in windows and cars quietly parked for the night, but I don't feel like adding breaking and entering onto my resume, especially in a neighborhood I've only just joined. I doubt anyone would suggest that as a way to meet people and make new friends. Ooh. It's as I'm approaching the coast do I notice a figure on the horizon. Someone swimming? The lamps don't work down here, and the only light in the area is what the moon has decided to provide. Obscured by rock and sea foam, I try to make out details of the silhouetted mystery. I don't want to scare them. Approach quietly, call out to them. I think I'll just approach quietly. Everything about me has been carefully chiseled and honed to be a hunting machine, subtle and foreboding. Well, that's great. Okay, not what I wanted. Keeping to the shadows isn't difficult. The waves are strong tonight, crashing and lapping at the limestone and providing the perfect cover for me to slink closer. The person I found myself sneaking up on keeps diving underneath the water, her hair long enough that it stays near the surface, inky against the dark waters. I hadn't anticipated it, but perhaps midnight divers could be a new food source. It's been a long, long time since I've swam, longer than I can even count. I can't tell anymore if the memories I have of sand underneath my feet and water rushing over them happened while I was alive or not. There's no myth I'm aware of that vampires can't swim, but tonight it seems I'll be putting it to the test. Well, there is a thing about, in some mythology of vampires and running water, but I feel like Isra would know that? I don't know. It's only as I continue closer, keeping as slow as possible as I move down the steps, does something else catch my attention. There's movement underneath the water, rhythmic yet powerful in its strokes. Whatever. There's very little on this earth that can fight back. Everything I touch eventually comes under my control. A little confused here. There's movement underneath the water, rhythmic yet powerful in its strokes. Whatever. There's very little on this earth that can fight back. Everything I touch eventually comes under my control. In my haste, I manage to overlook it, moving quickly into a pounce as I leap off the side and into the water. Time seems to go to a stop, droplets sprinkling around us as the moonlight glistens. Shine and scale. Scale? As I finally finish diving underneath, do I see exactly what I've interrupted? Oh! The woman's eyes widen, her gills pulsating, and the real star of the show, her tail, swinging directly at my head. I take the hit. Oh my god! Pure muscle that would have knocked me unconscious if I wasn't already dead. Instead, my ears ring and the world underwater spinning, but I stay alert. Somehow I find my way to the surface and feel the cool air of the evening greet me. Doesn't matter though, because I'm not up there for long. I'm like, is she gonna try to drown me? Because I saw her, she grabs my waist and drags me back down, swimming faster than I could have imagined. Not that I ever underestimated merpeople, but I don't think my first meeting would be attempted murder. Touché. She continues to beat against the water as it turns icy and the view of the sky overhead slowly fading. I can still feel her heartbeat despite it all, hammering violently against where I'm pressed to her body. Whatever meal I had on my lips has been replaced by curiosity now, and a touch of dull fear. I won't die. I can't die, but the pressure around us continues to mount, crushing us, me. It's as darkness, true darkness, settles in, does she turn to look at me, her unexpected prey. When she sees me staring back at her, my chest still but my eyes blinking, do I show her a smile? All teeth but no malice, despite how our first meeting has been going. She stares at me and flushes, and then begins our ascent. I like this. This is like really, I like this. I gladly stay limp in her arms. Yes, carry me to the surface, Miss Ma'am. Did you try to bite me? Oops. Caught red-handed. At least she seems amused. Yeah, I thought you were swimming. Well, you weren't wrong, but maybe next time don't ambush people. Even if I was some human, you probably would have killed me. Then she looks me up and down. I suppose that's only natural for you, though, right? Ouch. You don't see me admonishing you for trying to kill me. You had no idea I was a vampire. You didn't care. The conversation has taken a turn, quite quickly. I was only defending myself. You attacked me. Yeah, and I'm sure going straight to manslaughter is a proper way to deal with that. What, do you like doing that to unsuspecting swimmers? I don't know why I'm getting so defensive. For all intents and purposes, she's not wrong, and I've made an ass of myself. I'm not the only one who has to watch their own back. Every person who lives on the fringes of society has felt that anxiety, knows how quickly friend can turn to foe. It's not wrong protecting yourself. She looks hurt, and a little angry. I sigh and drag myself out of the water, onto the pavement. Sorry. That was uncalled for. Let's start over? She takes a long look at me. Okay. Don't make me regret it, though. I'm Suni. I reach out my hand and she takes it, emerging out of the water to sit next to me. Isra, it's nice meeting you. I didn't realize this was such a lively bay. I've moved in just up the road. Don't think it'll stay that lively if you keep that whole routine up. I shoot her a look, but all she does is smile back at me. I guess I can let that slide. I did start this after all. But it's nice to see a new face. I don't get many visitors around here due to all this. She waves dismissively at her tail. And yeah, I get the point. It's odd to run into a mermaid alone. Every tall tale I've ever heard of, Every tall tale I've ever heard of have always painted them as communal creatures, traveling together wherever that may be. Completely unlike the existence I've found myself in. Rare to find another one of me, let alone get along with them. The most luck you often have is staying with your sire until it eventually ends in tragedy, whether at your hand, theirs, or some meddling hunter. It's not that unusual to move from town to town, never welcome and never quite at home. It's everything that mer people are supposed to be the opposite of. Their home is wherever they are and whoever they're with. Why is that? Any tips for a new face, then? Well, I just met her. I'm just gonna say any tips for a new face, then. Other than don't kill people and try to keep your head down? Well, I think you'll figure it out pretty quick. How long have you been... She waves her hand around. Like that. Well, she's getting personal. I wink. A lady never tells. Besides, I like to think I'm young at heart. Now you're sounding your age. Alright, I think I get the picture. I'll be staying here for a while, though. I hope. I can't say I hope for the same myself, but... She looks out into the distance as she trails her hand in the water. It's a nice place. Different, but nice. You really won't find many people down here. I'm serious. It's dead at this time of night, and I don't know the intricacies of your diet, but you do better further up the road. Duly noted. It's very peaceful. Not so much during the day. You'd be surprised. I have to swim quite a bit further out, and the boats are horrendous. She punctuates that with a noise of disgust, and I can't help but wonder if the bay looks the same as it does from my window. It's fascinating from above, but I never thought about it from below. I've had a hard time enough blending in with the increased technology and industrialization. I suppose not even the seas are safe from it now, either. I suppose I must have interrupted your alone time then. Sorry for that. Suni scrunches her nose. Whether that's a good expression or a bad one, I'm not quite sure, but she doesn't sound upset when she speaks again. It might have been a blessing in disguise. You never know. I've not spoken to anyone in a while. I was curious about that. Why? Did the tale not tip you off? I can't exactly talk to every passerby. No, I didn't mean that. Where's the rest of your clutch? She looks a little stricken and a lot more apprehensive than I could have expected. I should have expected this to be a sensitive topic, but I'm not sure what I was thinking, really. Maybe I'm being too straightforward with someone I barely know, and who barely likes me. The vulnerability of being on your own. Now that's something I can relate to. I'm not sure. Kind of lost them on the way here, but I'm bound to be heading back the way I came soon. She perks up at the end of that statement, and I take that as my cue not to dig any deeper than I already have. Oh, so I guess I won't be seeing you again. Sorry for such a bad first and last impression. The water on my well, everything, has started to dry in the remaining heat of the day, and I can barely feel the chilly breeze of evening settle in. I look up at the sky again, obscured by a canopy of trees and clouds slowly rolling in. The time for apologies is long past now. You're redeeming yourself already. Then she narrows her eyes. Maybe. I'm still making up my mind about you. Well, I promise not to attack you again. Truce? Suni laughs as she takes my hand to shake it. All right, truce. I can't say it's not nice to speak freely to someone again. I smile at her, teeth explicitly not bared, before leaning back on the pavement. Me too. It's been... I can't even say how long it's been. Hey, how long have you... A loud crash from nearby cuts me off before I can finish my sentence, and I whip around to see what could have caused the commotion. There's nothing in sight but paws against concrete, a knocked-over bin, decidedly non-human shuffling. Some sort of animal for sure. Nothing to worry about. Must be some cat. Anyway, Suni? I turn around to find no one there. I suppose that's my cue to leave, too. Ooh. Also, I didn't check on the last one, but I wonder what After St. Vincent's are kind of little... Oh, excuse me. Internal monologue is after we do this. Can I not skip? Because technically this is similar dialogue, but not quite new. What if we just go to the interview? There'll be more opportunities to socialize once I actually have a job. I don't even know what I'd say to him, let alone if I'd be seeing him on the regular. Not to mention trying to befriend the first person I see makes me feel too much like a baby bird imprinting on a twig or something. Right now I don't have the time to stand around and chat. Last thing I want to show up late when I'm already here and ready. Yep, you just go straight to Chris's. Okay. Interview done. Yep, this is the same. Okay. Okay, that's the same. Surveying my surroundings. This will be the route I take from now on. Yep. Ever present humidity. Yep. There's still a sense of apprehension that punctuates my every thought. I've not gotten to know anyone yet, not really. There's been brief introductions, sure, but it's hard to break into someplace new when you're as much of a stranger as everyone else is. It's in the quiet moments, the ones where I can no longer occupy myself with mental checklists and the usual worries, that I find myself thinking of her. Ooh! Even when we moved from city to city, town to town, I felt invincible. There was not a single thing we couldn't do or tackle. Life is so much easier when it's two against all. Now when I walk home, I know there's day that will stretch out ahead of me, long and unyielding in its melancholy. I try to shake creeping gloom away. least I've met some people though, right? There's no quick and easy of making friends and finding new ones. Patience is all there is, and I have an abundance of it, if the previous years are anything to go by. With time and dedication, everything will be fine. My windows are covered with more than what's necessary, but the room has become a lot brighter now that the day has started. That's my cue to get ready to sleep. I send out a silent hope that I won't see her in my dreams tonight. I'd like to spend some time without the same memories playing on repeat. It's been eons since I was last in a lecture hall. Okay, this is different. What? I've been saddled with the furthest aisle, peering down at the cadaver in the center of the room as I'm sat high above where all the action is taking place. It feels good to be learning again. What's being demonstrated today is an appendectomy, a first for many people in this room. I get caught up in my thoughts for a moment, considering the fact I've been in this very position thousands of times before, seeing history in the making, but soon I realize that I'm not the only one. It's no unique position of mine. Everyone else here is witnessing the very same act, the very same progression, the very same history. How short-sighted to think I'm the only being on this earth to experience this feeling. Every human that's lived throughout history has seen kingdoms rise and fall, inventions being made, and discoveries being unearthed. Most often, it happens several times over before it really sticks. It strikes me that this is a very human thought. It also strikes me that I'm missing all the important parts. But there will be several demonstrations throughout the week. After all, we'd all do well to truly understand this new way of science. A lot more people's lives could be saved as a result. Writing down a few sparse notes, I think of what I need to pick up tomorrow. We've been trying very hard to make this place our permanent home, setting down roots and ensuring our longevity in the area. For that reason, it'll be the first time we're having guests over in the new house. I even brought the orrery out of storage, although I don't know how many people will be impressed with that particular trick anymore. Either way, it's a beautiful classic, and it's sure to wow them, even if it's only a touch. Then there's the matter of food, but right now I couldn't care less how I'm getting it. It'll be fun to use the kitchen. Recently, I unpacked a recipe book, its pages yellowed with age and unglued from its bindings, but it smelled a little of home. I know it's my imagination, the book too new and the language different, but I still can't help thinking of my faceless mother, warm, inviting, as luminescent as the sun itself, cooking me dinner as I swung my feet back and forth on a chair. It's an old wound, but it still stings sometimes. I focus my attention back on the lesson at hand, watching with intent as the skin is peeled back. Wait, so are we inviting humans over? Because we have our recipe book? And I'm assuming we're a vampire right now based on how we're talking? I blink away the memory, trying to ignore the uncomfortable tightness in my chest. That's the most recent one I've had yet. Yeah, okay. Somewhere deep down, I know that I'll soon be confronted with that night. I don't want to face it yet. I take in a deep breath and then another. It won't be creeping up on me tonight, however. Exiting my coffin, I pretend to ignore my surroundings and instead focus on my plans for the evening. I don't have anything urgent to do, having already gotten the painful part of job interviews over and done with, so I suppose I'm rather free to do anything tonight. It'll be my last free moment before my week is structured and organized, with my shifts established and steady. I think it might be nice to revisit some place I already saw. After all, it might be the last time in a while before I'm able to go there again. Huh? This is also new. Go see Alex or Aurelius. Okay, I wonder if it wants me to, I think before the demo ends, it wants me to figure out that I'm being followed. I think that's what it is. Wander aimless down the road, watching the neon signs merge into one another. As much as I wish I didn't, I can't help but think of that nightclub. And Alex in particular. Yeah, okay, so it wants you, I like that. I like that it ties that in. To get that sweetheart's detail. Yeah, this is the same. Interesting. I like how that's tied in, because it does seem to be a pretty important part, and you don't want to miss that. Yeah. I wonder if I choose that other option, what happens? Let's see. So if I say, what if you're what I came here for? After all, she's the only thing that I was thinking of when I came here tonight. I'd say I don't know how she managed to capture my attention so thoroughly, but that would be a lie. Everything about her, from top to bottom, is intriguing, if not infuriating. Alex has managed to trap me in her snare, but I can't say I mind. My honesty doesn't seem to impress her, however. She still has that unreadable look on her face, standing still and statuesque against the backdrop of the crowd. You wouldn't be the first and you won't be the last. Don't be disappointed. I'm not surprised. She demands all the attention in the room. I'd be a fool to think I'm the only one. But at the same time, I know there's no one else like me either. I smooth back my hair. It's go time. Ooh! Ooh! I have more appetite than one person can satiate. I won't blame you for being the same. Ooh! Then I drop my voice lower, looking up at her through hooded eyes. This'll do it for sure. Ooh! Okay, girl, Isra! I don't need you forever. I only need you tonight. Oh, hello? Is she gonna take that or is she gonna be like, psh? Despite the loud pounding music echoing throughout the club, it feels dead silent in the space between her and I. Trying to keep my nerve, I move to tuck a loose strand of hair behind her ears. She's gonna smack the shit out of me. Before I'm able to reach up to do so, a new expression flitters over Alex's face. It's quick. I almost missed it. Oh, she smiled a little. Then she's back to her usual stony look. I'll save you the trouble. Don't ever say that again. To anyone, it won't work. It almost did on you. It almost did on you. 1 second I was looking at her. The next she's turned her back on me as she walks into the VIP section. Damn. But I got some kind of rise out of her, didn't I? Although I couldn't tell if she was embarrassed for me or laughing with me. I might need to do some work on my routine. Oh my gosh, hi Aurelius! As I turn the corner, I'm greeted with the bar. Surprisingly, it's not as busy as it was previously. There are a few beings crowding the area, and Aurelius is preoccupied with cleaning glass rather than slinging it. I can't tell if he's happy to see me or not, but he looks up at me after putting the glass back under the counter. Look what the dog dragged in. What brings you here on a school night? I'm still getting the lay of the land. Not much to do around here, is there? A loud clattering of bone against bone emits from the skeleton across from me, jumbling together into what appears to be a laugh. You'd be the first to ever say that. Have you been wandering around outside with a blindfold on? No, but... Take your butt out the door and go look around. Or don't, if you've got a tip waiting for me. It's been nothing but cheapskates tonight. It's a shame I actually don't. I feel like a total sham of my kind. Alive for generations, and yet somehow I've been unable to amass any of the wealth associated with them. All I've got are outdated outfits and a few star pieces of ceramic I managed to hold on to. I'd start a museum, but that would take money that, as aforementioned, I don't have. What do you even do with cash? It's not like you can roam around, up there. He laughs again, one loud short, ha! That sounds more like plates crashing than anything else. Up there isn't the only place that runs on cash, sweetheart. It's a self-inflicted plague that none of us can get rid of. I suppose currency is easier than a bartered trade system, but I'd have hoped at least animated skeletons relied on gold, silver, and copper. Aesthetically speaking, it would make me a lot happier. Okay. Oh well. Are you gonna order something or what? Because you're hogging the bar and I'd like to break even tonight. I guess I'll order something. But could you put it on my tab? He looks at me. Really looks at me. And I wonder what he'd be doing if he had flesh wrapped around his face. Raising an eyebrow? Frowning? All the above? Instead, he stares with that same wide grin, an unintentional side effect of having all your teeth exposed. This time only, all right. And you gotta close the tab by the end of the week. You're the best. I try my hardest to sound sultry, putting on some charm to soften the blow, and perhaps get an extension on that payment. But Aurelius just shakes his head while taking out a bag of AB. Put those eyes away, now get out of here. I swirl the wine glass, taking a moment to appreciate the tang of metallic hitting my nose. I'm going to take my time. After all, it's not like the people are lining up to take my spot. The only people in view are a couple making out against a wall, obscured slightly by the dark. Not that it works on me, I can see them as clear as day. I did have a couple of questions before I go. Who runs this place? I think you've already run into her. Tall, blonde, could freeze hell over with a glance. So Alex owns it. Okay. I knew she worked here, but I didn't realize she owned here. Teasing the owner, I can safely say that's not my proudest moment. Better to know now, before I make an even bigger ass out of myself. Yup, so you'll be closing that tab. Does she intimidate all her clientele? Only the special ones, but you're still here, aren't you? It's basically advertising. It's true that despite the reception, I've come back again. It's also true that she could easily bar me from the place, but she hasn't. She probably wasn't expecting a broke patron, though. I always defy all expectations. I'll make sure to let her know you're taking care of me. I take my leave as I hear Aurelius protesting, yelling after me, "Do you want me to lose my head too?" That was a good bit of detective work. Now I know a bit more about my standing around here. I take a few long sips of my drink. It's been a long time since I've been so well fed, while I look around. Alex has all but disappeared, so I suppose that option is gone. I would try and find someone else, but none of them seem as interesting as her. Maybe next time I'll get a few more words out of her. For a split second, I think I see someone familiar. Uncannily so. But as soon as I blink, the figure has disappeared from view. I don't know if I imagined it or if I saw it, but I feel my stomach drop all the same. The world tilts as if it's been thrown off its axis. That's no coincidence. I want to convince myself it wasn't real, but I know it was. It's high time I get out of here. Moving quickly, I find my way to the exit and scramble up the stairs. So this is how we do it instead. Okay. I've never been in a place so suffocating. Interesting. The night no longer feels warm and inviting. Yep. And then we get to here. Yeah, interesting. Oh, that was so interesting. Okay, I'm glad I tried that other option because then we got a little bit more from Aurelius. We now know that Alex is the owner. Okay, I think I have one more. I have to do the pharmacy. I think there was a couple options earlier in the game that I could have split between, but I'm kind of satisfied with this so far. There's plenty of pharmacies that dot the street, but there was one that had caught my eye, which seems to be the opposite of what it was going for. Oh? Unassuming entrance, darkened windows, and a doorbell to enter. The extra security might be questionable on any other street, but I can understand why the owners would have set it up in this particular way. It doesn't take too long until I come across the same sturdy door. Standing out of the way of the locals on the sidewalk, I press the bell and wait. A voice crackles through the line, whisper quiet. My, what a delectable thing you are. Now that's weird. Ah, have I piqued your interest, little mouse? Come in, I have all that you require. A less trusting person would turn the other way, but am I a less trusting person? It's been a while since my instincts for self-preservation have kicked in, considering there is little that can harm me, and much that I can harm instead, but a shiver crawls its way down my spine. However, curiosity has always been my greatest fault. Arrogance and curiosity. I'm going in. Against my better judgment, I enter the store. It was unimpressive from the entrance, but inside, it's an explosion of clutter and mess. This reminds me more of the apothecaries that I've seen in centuries past than any modern-day pharmacy. Littering the tables are flasks and poultices, herbs hanged up to dry, and specimens of every sort kept in containers. I've certainly not walked into any ordinary store. What is most jarring of all is that the person that voice belonged to is nowhere to be found. I could have sworn they were right by the entrance, but looking around, it's almost like no one was here at all. Right as I'm about to turn to leave again, I hear them pipe up from further inside. You hunger, do you not? A metallic sound follows soon after, and suddenly, I see a pair of bright, glowing eyes coming from a slot in the wall. Huh? Another door? Some sort of spy hole? I instantly notice their pupils. It would be hard not to. Pinprick slits instead of the regular round I'm used to. What are you? Have you forgotten your manners during your slumber? That's no way to speak to a host. Another chill travels through me. Whoever this is knows more about me than I'd like. Huh? I could argue you're not being very welcoming one. Am I not to see you? I prefer my privacy. I'm sure you might understand why, Isra. Who? What is happening? That's my last straw. I storm up to the hole in the wall. And who might you be? Some middleman come here to lure me and kill me? No matter how thick the wall, it won't save you. You've grown short in temper with your age. I thought you might enjoy the game more. If death is what you're worried for, worry no longer. I bring you the elixir of life. It's not like I have much room to talk, considering I have an affinity for the dramatic, and I invite it wherever I go, but who the hell speaks like this? As much as I hate to say it, I'm intrigued with this so-called elixir of life, too. I'm already a vampire. What? Establishing a way to live anywhere, but especially in this era, is fraught and difficult. So many tools of surveillance and too many rules. It's part of why I left in the first place. It's only become worse since the last time I was awake. You lot are always predictable. Here, take a look. A second slot opens in the wall, and with it, a tray peeks out with several key items on it. It's still dubious, but I've been committed to this stupid idea of mine thus far. It wouldn't hurt to take a look. There's a bag in the back labeled AB negative. I grab it with haste. Maybe it makes me look a little desperate, but I'm past caring. With that, the tray gets snatched back and the slot closes again. I'm left standing eye to eye with whoever's puppeteering this behind the wall. Should I ask how you got your hands on this? Or should I say pause? You can say whatever you like. I'm looking forward to getting to know you, Isra. It's been too long since we've had fresh blood around here. Judging by your wares, I'd wager you're lying. Are you still not going to tell me how you know my name? Yes, but you may know mine. Nyx. That's as unfamiliar as this entire exchange has been. I doubt I'd be able to even find this place in the local yellow pages, let alone anyone of that name. But maybe someone else will know more about this mystery person. I do not always have what you seek, but when you do, you'll know. It's been a pleasure doing business. You may go now. They don't need to tell me twice. I most certainly don't want to stick around any longer. I tip my head in acknowledgement and turn to leave. At least I can get on with my evening now. Interesting. I don't have any specific questions. I'm just like, the generalness of like, what? Who are you? What's going on? I'm gonna see if there's anything after this section. Anything different. Go to the interview. And this is turning into a long video. Whew. Okay. This will be the route. Yep. Stranger. Quiet moments. Find myself thinking of her. Yes. Life is so much easier when it's two against all, now that I'm being watched as well. Less room to breathe. Ooh, okay. If that pharmacist, if I'm willing to call them that, has already gathered that much information on me, who else is out there keeping tabs? They don't seem much of a threat yet, but I never anticipated my quiet lifestyle could garner so much attention. What will happen when I need to keep feeding, keep eating? The cameras in the hospital can't pick me up, but watchful eyes can see me just fine. But that's nothing I can solve now that my day is coming to an end. All I can do is make sure my vulnerabilities are accounted for. I doubt there'll be anyone knocking down my door when I'm surrounded by people on all sides, but I'll need to figure something more bulletproof out. Maybe getting to know people, really know them, should be the first step. There's likely to be someone out there who knows more than they're letting on. Dodgy pharmacists not included. My windows are covered with more than necessary, but the room has become a lot brighter now that the day has started. Okay, we've read this. Is it the same one? Oh, this is new! So interesting. Okay. Nassar. Have you got the documents? She calls out, her voice bouncing off the halls. I don't know what room she's in, but she sounds quite far. The house has practically been torn down by the seams, with paintings strewn around the floor and clothes piling on the chaise lounge. We don't have much time. I don't know how much time we have. Could be seconds or minutes or hours. We've had to do this so many times that I move around the place with practiced precision, smoothing my movements as I push down the panic that's threatening to boil over. I put them in the suitcase. We can go as soon as we've done one last round. Right now I'm making sure there's no trace of where we're going. When you leave, you want to leave right. I don't know what changed this time, but all I know is that they're coming, and there's nothing we can do about it. It almost seemed like I'd been working here, but that was too much to hope for. I put the last few of my shirts into a bag. Normally they'd be folded neatly, but tonight they're shoved with careless abandon. Where are we going after this? There's no response, so I repeat myself a little louder. Nassar, where are we? I heard you. Her voice breaks as she trails off, and I find my feet taking me to her before I can even recognize what I'm doing. She's huddled into the center of the bed, a few framed photos surrounding her like a halo. I've never seen her look so small. I kneel in front of her, resting my hand on her knee. Hey, what's wrong? What happened? She doesn't cry. Don't think I've ever seen her, but she looks like she is, regardless of the fact her cheeks are dry. I'm tired of this. I don't want to leave again. I'm pulled out of the dream with such severity that it takes me a moment to realize I'm not looking directly at her anymore, that I never was in the first place. If I keep staring, I can almost see her outline in front of me in the darkness of my coffin. I can't even tell when that happened. There were so many repeats of the same scene, so much uncertainty in our lives, that it's rare to remember the times we could stay somewhere than the times we were forced to leave. I try to push the memory out of my mind. It'll do me no good to dwell on the past, even if I can slowly feel it beginning to repeat itself. I don't want to be forced to leave. Not without her. Not ever again. I sigh and take my leave, ignoring the mess around me as I try to gather what wits I have left. Doesn't feel good starting my day with this way, but what can I do? Life goes on. At least the good news is starting to dawn on me. I've got a job. And I have some free time. There's nothing pressing that I have to get done today, so I can take my time doing whatever I want. Yep. And be revisiting the club. Okay, so technically, Park Street, I didn't see what was after that. Can I skip? Ooh, beautiful. St. Vincent's. Skip. Aha, skip is working. Go to the interview. Okay, it was that one again. So I already saw it. Did I not miss one? Maybe those two were the same. The Park Street and Elizabeth Bay one. Alright. Well, I think that's everything I want to look at for now. Or was I looking at quick load maybe? Ah, okay, that's why I was confused. 2 menus, I understand now. Okay. Ugh. Well, I had a great time with this. I'm trying to think of I kind of talked already through the questions I have. I mean, all these characters seem so interesting. All these people are so interesting. I like these different routes that they're going down, these different locations of interest. Alex is the owner. We have Suni. We have Alma. We have Nyx. I like the variety of like all these different people. And we haven't seen any other vampires yet. I wonder if we'll like actually encounter any other vampires. We said they're rare. I wonder. Hmm. And just what's going on with Nassar? Like what happened between us? Is Nassar actually dead? We mentioned not wanting to relive that night, so I'm assuming something really bad happened. And maybe that's what motivated us to slumber for a long time. And now we're done and we're like, fuck it. I'm getting back in society again. It's so interesting. I would say that I am, when it comes to like feedback on demos and games and things like that, I'm probably not the best person to reference regarding it. Because, I mean, I don't play a lot of these types of games, like a ton. I've played a few like over the years, but I'm not like the most visual novel like savvy person. But I do enjoy it and I can like at least speak on vibe and things like that. I love the art so much. Like every new like background and image and sprite is like super cool. I love this so much. I love the aesthetic. I love the monochrome of it. It's really really cool. I really like that. I'm very much enjoying where the story is going. Isra is very intriguing to me, her past, as we learn more about it. And I do like the usage of like sleeping in the coffin and getting these like flashbacks as dreams as learning information about ourselves, like kind of reliving moments. And I also really like how in these moments or like after them, Isra comments like these memories are kind of hard to hold on to. Like it seems like they're not all necessarily like in her head all at the same time, but she gets glimpses of them again. She then will remember these moments that she's forgot. Like it's hard to hold on to, which I really like, and I think that really works with a character who is a vampire, who's been alive or I guess undead for a very long time. It's hard to hold on to all of those snippets of information if you've been alive for like hundreds of years. So I really like that device. I think that's very well done. Um Trying to think of like anything else I want to say. I don't know. I just think this is a very cool project. I'm very intrigued to see it like fully complete or at least more. Um and yeah, I encourage you all to check it out yourself once maybe, it's complete later this year. It said 2026. I don't know if that's still accurate. But yeah, thank you for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed, and I guess I will see you next time. Bye-bye.